everybody? Welcome to What's Up, Bolts. I'm Fernando Ramirez. What can I tell you? Not a very good game by the Chargers today. Injuries happened. A lot of things happened. They ended up losing 20-10 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll get into everything that happened today with the game. But Justin Herbert goes down with an injury. Joey Bosa goes down with an injury. Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater. So we'll see how all of that goes. But all right, let's go to the intro, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about this game.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So where's Compas?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Daygo is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7th-rounder. So
Freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
Welcome to What's Up, Bolts. I'm Fernando Ramirez. Obviously, like I said, Chargers lose 20-10 to the Steelers. We'll get into all that, but for the time being, let's. This is gonna be dangerous, but let's bring in Dan and Daygo and see how he's doing.
Cut the music, Frown. Cut the music. Let me tell you something. I gotta pop one of these because I am not damn happy, Frown, at all. That was not a good game, dude. That was not a good game. You know, it was funny. I saw a tweet and it was kind of funny, although I should hate it. But they're like, Chargers football is all the way back. Lose 4 first-round picks in the game. Charger football is back. Unbelievable, dude. But you know what? That's what happens when you have expectations. That's what happens when you have hope, right? Hope is the son of a bitch. It's the worst because you feel like you're flying. All of a sudden, you smack dab back into earth and reality. You go into space, and that sumbitch plummeting back into the atmosphere and gravity is a pain in the ass, dude.
So basically, you're telling me that this is you right now. Life as a Chargers fan. Herbert hurt, Bosa hurt, Slater hurt, Alt hurt, 2-1 record. Chiefs winning tonight, Broncos winning, talking on Satan next week. Nobody has it worse.
Oh my God. I saw another one too that was like, what in the Kansas City Chief black magic is this? And it was like all these guys getting hurt in one game. But you know, it's just, you know, it's kind of like we talked about again. There's expectations now. So it sucks when you kind of, you know, lay eggs like this. But we know this is a rental team because everybody got 1-year contracts and everything else. So again, it's going to be interesting to see what they do next week. You reminded me of the bye after the Kansas City Chiefs game. So I mean, who knows what will happen? But
well, let's get into that in a second. But obviously, coming out of it, the Chargers. I mean, they came out and they battled. They really took it to the Steelers at the beginning. I mean, it was kind of a back and forth. You have back-to-back 3-and-outs, and then Herbert puts together a really good drive where they go 5 plays for 59 yards, McConkey 13 yards. Then you get a Dobbins for 5 yards, Dobbins for 13. Then you have Herbert passing into Quentin Johnston on that play, Dan, for the 27-yard touchdown. Herbert kind of looked off. Joey Porter Jr. was looking in the back. And he thought, oh, he's going to go to Ladd McConkey. Let me make the big splashy play. And he runs up to try and get to Ladd, and Herbert ends up, and he leaves Quentin Johnson wide open, and he ends up scoring on the play. But the reason why I put on here injuries and mistakes came back to hurt the Chargers, and it was mistakes that they were making under the Brandon Staley era, under the Tom Telesco era. And the first drive was case in point on the, not my bad, the third drive by the Steelers on 3rd and 5. They have them at 3rd and 5 at their own 35. Fields hits George Pickens. Okay, 5-yard catch. All right, cool. Couple plays later, it's 3rd and 4 on the Chargers 32. Scotty Miller, who you Super Bowl winner, Scotty Miller. Remember he made that play in Green Bay on at the end of the half for Tampa Bay to go up on Green Bay and ultimately punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. Scotty Miller ends up just doing an out route, and Asante Samuel Jr., all he had to do was just wrap him up, and it's 4th down, and obviously we would have seen what the Steelers would have done. Instead, it's a broken tackle, and he takes off for 20 yards, and that extended the drive. Then a couple plays later, we were talking about it right now, Dan, when I got home from the Padres game, 3rd and 3 at the Chargers 5, and Morgan Fox goes up and he hits one of the running backs, but it was Justin Fields that had the ball and he walked into the end zone. Talk a little bit about that play.
Oh, that pisses me off right there. You know, the fact that you're not going to account for the best runner on the field, which is Justin Fields. That to me is, I don't know what's going on there because, you know, you had to expect at one point in the game, they're going to call a zone read, like, especially down there where it gives them the option. That's how you get all 11 involved in the run game. And on top of that, like, again, he's the best damn runner on the field. That's what he does. That's his specialty. And on top of that, you know, the other thing that was, you know, I couldn't understand. I felt like, I don't know what you thought, but I felt like they were playing off and soft a lot. Like, you know, after Bosa goes down, they couldn't really get a lot of pressure. Even the blitzes weren't getting home. And
they kept on chipping. Whoever the big pass rusher was there, they were chipping Khalil Mack every single time.
I'm sure. But even some of the blitzes, I was like,
well, I didn't think they blitzed as much as they maybe should have to disrupt Justin. I know they blitzed like Derwin a couple of times. They blitzed Perriman a couple of times, but yeah, I thought they could have taken more chances, especially with Justin Fields as the quarterback. I thought they could have done more with that.
Yeah, well, especially also like press the receivers, force them into tight windows. Don't play like zone off and soft. Let them get off the line. You know, that was my biggest problem. We're making him look like he's damn Terry Bradshaw out here when they have only scored 1 touchdown through the 2 games that have happened so far. And, you know, that was frustrating to me as can be. Besides the fact that Bosa goes down in the first play, like, whatever. It is what it is. But then to play off and soft and just kind of letting them do what they want, getting off the – and I don't know if it's one of those things where now you could tell this is Minter's, like, growing pains in the sense that now he faced a real head coach in the National Football League who's pretty damn good at it, has good guys around him and everything else who can make adjustments. And, you know, it's gonna have to be a learning curve for him because – it's not going to get any easier going down, especially next week you play Andy Reid. Andy Reid, you know, is gonna try and do a lot of stuff differently and everything else, and he's always a hard guy to game plan his offenses for. But that was the biggest thing to me. You know, you would have thought, honestly, just looking at today that Justin Fields was the one making $50 million over here, just making throws, doing the right things, getting out of things. Well, we're not talking about offense yet, but
by the way, speaking of that, did you see what Kay put? Atlanta has Storm.
I can't
Norton.
see. I don't have my.
Atlanta has Storm Norton in on their offensive line right now.
Oh Jesus! Kirk Cousins is how you say cook. Let's get a moment of silence. More than anything, I liked what I liked what Angel said. Hold on, let me find it. You are right, Angel. Hilberto reverse cursed us. He's a scumbag. Also, where was the other one that I saw? Oh yeah, Robert. That roughing the passer was so soft. He got pushed into stupid Justin Fields, but whatever. On to the next.
And that's what I wanted to go to, that drive. When you jump, let's jump over to that drive. I mean, the Chargers had a nice drive after the touchdown by the Steelers, but I don't remember if Fehoko dropped that one or not when he put it up in the middle. Well, whatever. But there were a couple of nice drives in the first half. The thing is, like you said, Dan, in the second half, the Steelers kicked up the intensity. They were blitzing a lot more. That you could tell that they turned on a different level and they kind of flipped that switch. And on the other side, it kind of felt like the Chargers didn't. I mean, they were up 10-7 at halftime, and then they came out. The Steelers did. And they had the field goal, and then, the interception, but the interception was kind of a fluke. Then they had a field goal, a touchdown, and then they ended the game. They had drives of 12 plays, 5 plays, and that 5-play one was just the one on to Calvin Austin for the 55-yard touchdown. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the thing. Those long drives, the things that really killed them
Big
in
plays.
big plays and stuff like that. And then there was a drive. Which one was it? The one where it was this touchdown one on well, no, it was the field goal.
And then on top of that, they didn't capitalize on the one turnover in the game, I think.
Exactly.
I think that was the only turnover. They didn't capitalize. They didn't score points.
So you go to this field goal, or they kicked the field goal to be up third. They was 10-10. They kicked the field goal to go up. So you have 3rd and 4 at the Pittsburgh 21. Fields throws the Freiermuth for 15 yards. Then you add on another 15 yards because of the penalty on Derwin. Look, I'm gonna just be honest. I think at this point it's getting ridiculous that tight ends get a dip, their pass catchers get a dip.
Oh,
their
yeah.
heads,
Yeah.
and they already know that the safety or the linebacker, whoever's coming in already, and they dip their head, they take the helmet to helmet and get another 15 yards added.
Yeah, that told you everything about the game. Like when Harbaugh took over this game, you expected to not have stupid mental errors like some of these. Some of them were bad calls, and it is what it is. But some of the stupid mistakes that I'm like, where they got the sack on a 3rd down or something like that, and then Asante Samuel Jr. gets called for holding and stuff like that.
That's where I was going.
That can't happen, dude. I don't think offensively they had penalties. They
had a couple. Sure. Well, I mean, they had one holding call on Alt. You're
right.
It was mostly on the defense where they racked up the.
And that's just killer, dude.
But that was the thing. That's some of the Brandon Staley, Tom Telesco stuff where you're letting drives go on too long. You're making mistakes. I mean, honestly, the guys were making mistakes. Like, I thought the guys that Harbaugh brought in and that Joe Ortiz had brought in, I thought they played well. Puna Ford, I thought, was kind of controlling the middle. Christian Fulton has been a really good corner on that other side. It's kind of Asante's side that's gotten picked on a little bit. So it's just some of the guys that have stayed on and they've kind of kept where some of the mistakes happen. The offensive line, they need to do something about that interior offensive line. And I know we're talking about defense, but now let's switch over to offense real quick. But yeah, Robert, I also saw a lot of holding by their offensive line. I mean, they had but I mean, you have to be able to
if you want to see some more, Robert, just go tune into the Sunday night game. Those guys get away with murder. You might as well just call them OJ Simpson out here. My God, dude.
So
allegedly.
Going back to the offensive line, and well, I'll save the Harbaugh talk for a little bit, but I just thought that the offensive line has kind of been, the interior's been very shaky. Zion Johnson and Bradley Bozeman have kind of been the weak points right now so far to start the season. And I just wonder, I mean, especially because we don't know anything about Slater and Alt. I think he said that he had a pectoral strain. I think he said strain.
That's what he missed 2 years ago for, right? That's a
he missed it for a torn pec. So we'll see if Slater has. The Alt one, Cam Hayward, I think just ran into his leg.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with all that. He really didn't give any discussions. I think Chris Rim and Pop put that they were that he kind of limped out of the locker room. So yeah, Robert, we're gonna get to that in a second. But they just have to do something about that offensive line. The interior of the offensive line is just not working, in my opinion.
No,
I don't think I haven't really seen. No, I get he lowered his helmet, but I'm not just talking about Derwin. I'm talking about in general. Like in general, there's too many guys that they lower their heads because they know that they're gonna get smacked. I mean, and it's just an NFL-wide problem. Like, when are they going to call an offensive play? Because I mean, they're calling a lot of penalties now on defenses. I mean,
but that's to be expected. That's what they want.
Weird pass interferences. So it's just that's what I'm saying. Like in general, when are they gonna?
They want to make up for bad quarterback play.
So just going back to the offensive line. I mean, I don't know what you saw, but I just thought that they gave up way too many sacks in the second half. Like I said, they gave up 5 sacks in the second half. Arthur Blank just put himself in the Falcons Ring of Honor. Are you kidding me?
He's
Holy
the owner. He
crap.
can do whatever he wants.
Well, yeah,
But,
no, it sounds like it.
But my biggest thing, the two complaints I have, or the thing that bothers me the most, are a few things. Who knows if Zion's going to be the guy after this year? Is this when they can get rid of him after this year?
No.
They still have another. Well, either way, who knows if he's going to be the guy long term? Because there was a lot of times today he was getting pushed back into Herbert's lap a few times.
And it
cost
now I
him
remember
the touchdown.
Yeah, that's the one I remember now. Yeah. If Herbert
But Fiocco had a drop
in,
with the Hail Mary at halftime also. I think Fiocco had like 2 drops or 3 drops today.
Yeah, 3.
And who knows if he's going to be the guy long term. You know, Bozeman I'll watch a little bit closer next time. I think Pipkins has been fine at guard. I haven't really seen much. But, you know, what bothers me, honestly, is Greg Roman's supposed to be the run game, you know, genius. Why is he trying to go heavy against the Steelers defense and run into their teeth? Why wouldn't you want to spread them out, try and get lighter boxes, try and get, you know, numbers one way or another? That was my biggest thing. Like, why are you trying to go, you know, tit for tat when you can't do that with the Steelers? The Steelers, there's a few things in everyone's life that will never change. Taxes, what is it? Death, taxes, and the Steelers having a physical ass defense and being good. Even if the Steelers that season are shit on offense, you bet your ass they're going to have a top 5 defense or whatever. You can't just try and out physical the defense when you don't have the guys yet. And yet is the key term there. On top of that, I'm going to say it again because I've said it, I think, 2 or 3 weeks in a row. Justin needs to get the ball out of his hands, dude. Like, he's hanging on to it too long. I don't care if no one is open and there's no check down. Throw it at someone's feet. Either escape the pocket if you're not going to do that because of an ankle or whatever else, but be smart and live to fight another day. You don't have to hit home runs every play. That's what they need to get in his ear and tell him. You don't have to hit home runs every play. Checkdown's not there. Throw it away. Get rid of the football. Do not take sacks. Do not take hits. That is absolutely, you know, you can't do that. You're the, you know, 51, 3, whatever it is, $1 million man. You can't, you know, essentially he goes down, the whole ship's going to go down right behind him. He cannot expose himself to hits anymore. The other thing is also, Greg Roman, why aren't you trying to dial up something quick, even if it's a little gimmicky? Just quick routes, get people open, get the ball out of his hands fast. And if they start, you know, bringing a lot of pressure, why not a screen one way or the other to keep him honest? Just try and, you know, and again, I'm not trying to coach from the couch. I understand it's easy. I can't stand when people do that. But, you know, try and dial things up to get the ball out of his hands. If not, tell him. If it's not there, get rid of it. Do not hold on to the pass. Because there was a few times where Sawyer's getting into his lap and he doesn't back up or move one way or the other. He was kind of standing there like a statue. And again, it's probably because of the ankle, and I understand that. But all the more reason why to just throw the football away. Like, you don't have to take hits. That's the biggest thing someone's got to tell him. He cannot take hits. He cannot afford to be taking hits. You know, the one positive I think from this game, Frau, thank God Taylor Heineke was the next man up, and it wasn't Easton Stick. We've seen a lot of that. We've seen enough of that. Let's see what Heineke's got. There's a reason you traded for him. The other thing is, and then I'll turn it back over to you, I did not like them moving Pipkins back to tackle and putting Sawyer at guard. You know, Sawyer did not have a good season, or maybe 2 seasons. No, I think last year was the only season he's played guard, or was it the year before also?
No, he barely started playing guard this year.
No, Sawyer was the guard last year, I thought.
Oh, Sawyer. Yeah, my bad. Last year.
Sawyer last year did not have a good year at guard. His better season was at tackle. I don't know why you wouldn't have just kept Pipkins where he is, keep everyone where they're at, and just put Sawyer at left tackle where he had a great rookie season. So that was a little bit puzzling to me. I didn't like that. And that's all I'm saying. I was reading Uncle Jam's comment. Yeah, exactly. I heard Tony Romo say those 2 guys were open or whatever. You know, and I understand, dude. Sometimes you see ghosts because you've been getting hit all games and stuff like that. But you need to get rid of the football. You need to get rid of the football. There has to be a clock in the back of your mind that says 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the oh shit button needs to get pressed. I need to get rid of this thing. And so that was a few things for me offensively. I didn't understand why they didn't try and expand it. Why they didn't try and change things up a little bit.
Yeah, JK was open on that one where Herbert did get hurt.
So who knows what he was looking at then?
Yeah, so I think he was open, and then I think Quentin was open also.
That's what they said. I thought Romo said there was like a 40-yard window or something like that. So I don't know what he was looking at, or if he was just
I think
looking
I
at the line
counted.
of scrimmage.
They brought 7 or 8, and like one of the linebackers was a delayed. The guy that got the sack was kind of delayed, but yeah, no, he did have an open opportunity to dump it down.
All the more reason.
I think he still would have taken the hit though. They still would have hit him.
Yeah,
so that was gonna happen. That was gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
But
maybe
yeah,
it's a roughing the passer. Who knows, dude? But just get rid of it, dude. You can't hang on to it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And the thing is that he has to realize also you don't have those guys to where you can hold on to it, and you know one of those guys is gonna make the play, because you don't you unfortunately don't have Keenan Allen, you don't have Mike, you don't.
Oh yeah, today they showed you don't have star receivers like you did in years past.
And that's where I was gonna go with. I mean, we can analyze the game for hours, and it was a bad game, but the Chargers held on. They hung around. They were able to do it. Even when Herbert went down, they still had a chance. The problem is that they just, I mean, like you said, once Herbert goes down, it's tough to kind of keep it going. And I thought Taylor Heineke had a good pass to Ladd McConkey. Yeah. And then after that, it just kind of fell off a little bit. The Chargers weren't able to run the football at all. They weren't able to do anything with it. I mean, JK had a couple of runs. I would start getting nervous though about Gus Edwards. I mean, it's been 3 games and he hasn't really been able to do anything. So I wonder what Harbaugh and Greg Roman and those guys are going to try and do with him. Because I think you need to start using Kamani Vidal then if Gus Edwards isn't going to work out or whatever. You need to start figuring out plan B, because you can't just run JK the whole game. Yeah, JK, no. I think Gus only had 3 carries in the game, and JK had almost, I think, the rest of them. You need to do something else, because JK, I think, like I told you before the season started, I think JK is a guy like is like the what's it called? Is like that guy that you want to, like that pitcher that you want to have him on a pitch count, because like we saw in the previous 2 weeks, he'll do well and he'll have explosive plays on a pitch count. Now it's like, okay, you can't just have him running and running and running and running. You really do need to do more. So I don't know. I just am really I'm really interested, but I'm just gonna honestly preach patience when it comes to this stuff. Like there's a lot of things that need to be fixed by Joe and Jim before this can all get better. And that's the thing. Today you kind of saw it's gonna take time. And I know people want it just because Jim Harbaugh is gonna come in, he's gonna come in and wave a magical wand. No, it's gonna take time. I mean, there's still stuff in here where, I mean, they don't have the depth that a team like the Chargers should have. I mean, there's been a lot of bad picks, so the 2019 draft was basically kind of a throwaway. And in 2020, you got Justin Herbert, Alohi Gilman, and that was basically it. There's other drafts where they just do not look good. And that's where you kind of need to build this, the depth, and the Chargers just don't have the depth. So that's why I kind of preach patience when it comes to this stuff. I mean, it's not like the team gave up. I mean, you guys have seen give up. You saw give up last year against the Raiders when they lost 63-21 against the Raiders. I mean, this team didn't give up. They were still fighting. They were still trying. I mean, there's just stuff that's going to go through. The ball's not always going to go their way. And I know all these injuries happen, but I really do think that Jim and Joe and the coaching staff are building something better. The only thing is they don't have those kinds of guys. I mean, they decided in the offseason, we're going to go with Joey. We're going to go with Khalil, and we're going to run it back. And I mean, Joey and Khalil have 4.5 sacks in 3 games. So that's pretty, Robert, they just got tired. They just got tired in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were out there for a while.
They were doing.
Offense can sustain a drive.
And I'm sure Harbaugh's going to adjust. I mean, guys, the bye week is a week away. They're going to have a week to kind of get away, relax, redo this, and then hopefully come back, and they're going to be able to do more. Part of me, and I mean, again, I'm not trying to be a a future seeker, or I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not any of that. I would suspect that they tell Justin, hey, we need you to sit this one out. I know you want to play the Chiefs. I know the division. I know all that stuff. We know all about that. But you may need to sit this out for your own good. You have 2 weeks to rest, almost 3, because you come back and you have until that Sunday to go. So you basically have 3 weeks off. You get a rest. You get a reboot. GJ Chark comes back.
Yeah. After the bye.
After the bye. I would almost suspect that they would do the same thing with Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater and Joey Bosa. This is you live to fight another day. And
not a bad strategy.
It's still a long season.
Yeah.
A lot of things can still happen. So I just feel like the Chargers should kind of tell these guys, hey, let's just chill. Let's just sit this one out. We'll give you guys all the rest that you guys need. We'll try and hang in there with Kansas City, and then we all come back, and then Denver, you come back for Denver in 3 weeks, which is going to be a tough team. I mean, hell, I was surprised when I looked at the score and I saw that they were up on Tampa Bay. I was like, whoa, like what?
You're Tampa Bay Lex?
What? Yeah, exactly. Well, you had them winning the division, so I was just really surprised. I was like, wow, okay, so this is happening right now. So I just think that they need to take that approach. They need to sit back. They need to analyze it and say, you know what, the bye week's coming up. We'll get all these guys back and we'll go into the rest of the season and hopefully we'll be better. But I definitely think that they need to shake up the offensive line. And I feel like they do need to rest up guys just because the offensive line so far isn't working. And I know that they've won games, but the offensive line, they've gotten penetration on that offensive line. And I just feel like,
no, and today, you know, they were behind the chains a lot.
Yeah,
they would lose yardage, not gain any yards.
They weren't setting themselves up like in the previous 2 weeks
where you get a third and medium, third and short. Yeah, exactly. No, you could tell that happened. You know, I assume if Joe Alt and Slater are out, Pipkins is a tackle, Zion Bozeman.
I agree with you though.
They should put Sawyer back at tackle. But I wonder who the other guy would be, though. You think it would be who's the guy that they were trying to use at fullback a few times, or Jaimes? Yeah, or who else? I wonder who it would be. Honestly, I just think, you know, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I like what Gabriel's saying here. Jamar needs to be at LT. I do not understand why Tripkins is still on the. Okay, well, at guard, I think he's been all right. I'm not super sure, Gabriel. He's looked fine, but you know. I don't know what they're going to do up front. That's going to be the craziest part, because I'll tell you one thing, you better not trot out Herbert there with Slater and Alt out for the Chiefs.
I'd be very surprised if
I think you're right. Even though I hate to say it, if you live to fight another day, put Matlock in at tackle. I hate to say it.
A lot of fans were bitching about it being week 5, and now everybody's like, "Oh, thank God it's
week 5. For real, yeah." But I think you're right though. Live to fight another day, go into the bye, especially if you have Denver coming back. I don't think Denver's going to be very good, but I mean they're going to have to be ready to go, dude. I hate saying that too, because again, I can't stand the Chiefs, but you know, if you don't have the full squad, it is what it is. You gotta kind of, you know, be strategic. In other words, of when you play guys, where you play guys, and everything else.
Well, and it's a long season, so
yeah,
you're
that's
really
the thing. That's the other thing. Yeah,
and I mean, it's good for Joey and for Joe and all these
guys.
Joey
just trips me out the way it's always something though, dude. Like on the first play, and then I'm like, God, that should have been an omen for everybody that this was going to be a shit show from the start. My God.
Yeah, it was the way it's kind of gone down for Joey. It sucks because I mean you see it,
the flashes,
you see the 2 sacks, you see all that stuff, and then. Hell, they even kind of what's it called? They even kind of like they limit his plays, they limit all that stuff so that he doesn't play as much, so that they're able to rest him and stuff, and they put him on a pitch count, and it's like it's still he still ends up injured. So I mean, we'll see. Young West, the season's far from over, my guy. Like.
They ask him how it was when he got home. I felt the same way.
Yeah. When I got home from the Padres game, I was covering the
But
Padres today, and Dan
again,
didn't seem.
Again, Young West, that's what happens when you have real expectations, dude. Like,
Let's see what Harbaugh had to say.
We were fighting the whole time, and the guys really stepped up and played good football for a long time. Now you to answer your question, all your questions. I mean, you go back now, you regroup, you refit, retool, and get ready for next week.
I mean, what more can you say, really?
You know, a positive sign, though, to me, and I mean, I'm not talking about right now, I'm talking about in general, was that Justin did speak after the game to the media. I mean, if he was really like that,
bad of an injury,
he doesn't speak to the media, but this is what he said.
I think it's my job to go out there and give everything that I've got. I know that everyone on defense, offense, special teams, they do the same. And so when you get a locker room like that, we believe each other. And I know that everyone's hurting out there, not the way that we wanted this one to go down. But we'll get back to work, and we'll get it figured out.
What more can you say? It's going to be interesting to see what happens this week. That's for sure. But, again, the Chiefs are going to be at the top of the division, especially if all these guys don't play and they're not good to go.
I think if both teams were healthy, I would be like – that
would be interesting.
Shootout.
Yeah, well, I think that's what's going to happen. Isn't that the last game of the season?
No, it's like December 4th or whatever.
Okay. Well, either way, that's going to be a good-ass game, hopefully, if they're all healthy.
But I just I just think that everybody kind of needs to be patient. Like I said, there's a lot of I mean, I've told you guys on here, like
exactly, Angel. Let him know. Let him know who did this to us. Let him know.
Players were telling us how bad it was last year, and it feels like these guys have really bought in. So I truly do believe that Jim has the right team. I mean, I remember what he used to be like in San Francisco when I'd watch the press conferences and stuff. He was always very irritated, and here he seemed pretty calm. The only thing he was irritated with is, if Justin's not your starting quarterback, who is it going to be next weekend? And he's like, kind of like, well, the game just ended. Like, can we have a moment to breathe? And
he said, can we have a moment of silence, because this is going to suck ass.
God, the fact that Rashee Rice is playing.
Again, that's the NFL for you.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, but, Young West is right. I thought they abandoned the run at one point. I'm kind of like that's exactly what happened with the Raiders. You just bang, 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 and then all of a sudden a big 50-yard run happens. And I know that rarely happens against the Pittsburgh Steelers because they're when they showed that graphic of them having the Chargers have had 19 head coaches since
they hired Chuck Noll or whatever.
Since the Steelers hired Chuck Noll. 19 head coaches. Teams average 14 head coaches.
Uncle Jim, what the hell's going on over there?
Y'all are wild. But imagine he just oh my God, you guys are wild.
Is that what Harbaugh said?
Oh no. Oh yeah. That's what don't you remember? He's like, it felt like angels were singing.
Oh
yeah. So that's I wonder. Yeah, like that's
he's gonna see the second coming, dude. That's what he's gonna think. It's Armageddon, dude.
Exactly.
Time for the rapture.
Don't plug up the middle. I really wonder what this is really gonna test the Chargers out. To be honest, though, their mentality, everything moving forward. This is really gonna test the team's grit. I mean. I truly believe that next week they could hang against Kansas City, and I'm not talking about scoring points, but I feel like they could limit that offense, and I feel like they can't compete with them. It's just going to be what can Taylor Heineke do? Sorry, Taylor Heineke or Easton Stick, because obviously Jim hasn't said who. But
oh my God, if it's Easton Stick, dude, unless he's out there to do some, I've been saying this for years, some Taysom Hill stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. If I was the Chargers in next week, why don't you just go razzle dazzle a little bit if it is Taylor Heineke and throw
the mute,
have him do a couple things. See, that's the thing I wonder too. If Herbert's inactive next week, Would they bring up another? Would they sign a quarterback to the practice squad? And
You'd have to, right? It's not
And
like
then
he could be
he's
the
your, and then you
emergency.
elevate him so that he's your emergency third quarterback. Because I don't think they would put Herbert as the emergency third
Yeah, I don't
quarterback.
think so either.
So, but I mean, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I would just preach patience.
The penalties need to stop, dude. That was the
Rome
biggest.
wasn't-
error
yeah,
of
there
the
was a
day.
lot of penalties. There was
a lot of
penalties.
stupid things going on, and
But it's like you said, they really did make Easton look like he was an all-pro, and
Justin
you're kind of
Fields.
like, or Justin Fields.
Max Dugan returns. Oh
my God. They really.
Oh,
did
I
make
like
him look-
this one. Yeah, Tannehill wouldn't be bad. I like that, Gabriel.
I'd be surprised if they did that. But
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like 500 grand, not league min.
but I really do think that they need to do they do need to do something when it comes to the offensive line. I think they kind of need to move it around, shuffle it a little bit. I agree with more of what Dan said, though. You put Sawyer at left, let him go back to that, and put Tannehill back at or Tannehill, put Pipkins back at right guard. But yeah, I'm just this is gonna test the Chargers out a lot these next couple of weeks, and see what they really have, because again, the wide receiver stuff is just gnarly, because
yeah,
Herbert threw 125 yards in the first half, and you thought, oh wow, could he like get to 300? And then he just basically stopped, and he stayed like that the rest of the time. Oh
yeah, he was like 0 for 5 or something like that to start the second half.
Rasheed Rice might be hurt, Dan.
And it's like, where's Storm Norton when you need him? Oh God. But like that's the thing again, is like they need to, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he, starting to get a little skittish back there because of all the pressure, but he needs the freaking
I think
get
it
rid
was
of the
like
football, dude.
I think it was skittish here because of the ankle. I think he was thinking too much of the ankle, and I felt like
He's not
that
playing
was kinda-
free. He's not playing free, and I think that's the
Well,
biggest
no, because
problem.
of the ankle.
I think, but what did he have the ankle for week 1 or no?
Well, no, but that was his first game back from the plantar.
Yeah, I
fascia.
mean, that's what I'm talking about. He hasn't gotten off to playing free since the start. He hasn't found a rhythm yet, and I think that's the biggest thing that they need to do.
But that's the thing. He had no preseason.
Yeah.
Then his first game was kind of like his first preseason game. Then last week but see, that's another thing, like you said, holding on to the football. Last week, that's why he got hurt in a sense.
Yeah.
He held
That's
on to
exactly
the football.
why.
He didn't throw it.
He
into
didn't
the dirt.
move. He didn't move.
And then this week it was kind of the same thing too. So yeah, just
Thank you for the updates, Uncle Jam.
It's just a little worrisome when it comes to that stuff, because you hold on to the football and you're gonna get
problems. It is problems, dude. But like I said, the other thing also is like you need to understand who you're playing.
This was Dan during the game.
Oh no, we suck again.
That's exactly how I felt. I said, damn it, now I'm gonna have to face all these Steeler fans tomorrow at work.
And then they were like, and then Tony Romo was like, are they gonna bring in Easton Stick?
This guy sucks.
Oh my God.
Oh, this was Dan when Herbert walked off.
No, God.
Oh, 100%.
No, God, please, no. 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 No.
Dude, I felt like the dad in Friday Night Lights. Oh, Lord, please don't do this to me.
Oh.
How much more can we pay? Jesus' name, dude.
I mean, still a long season.
Oh, we're going to see what happens. Well, right now, I feel like Chicken Little. The sky's falling, damn it. It all sucks. We're back in the same hole, and here we go.
Back in the same hole.
Time to drown my saddle.
That's what she said.
Time to drown my sorrow, I mean.
Your Padres are about to clinch a playoff spot on Tuesday.
I'm not talking about baseball. Not today. I don't care.
That's where I went.
Who cares?
Romo saying Khalil shouldn't have roughed the passer was hilarious.
Yeah, bro, he's drunk half the time up there, probably. Who knows?
Allegedly.
I have sword
but I mean, I'm drunk because of Hilberto. He cursed me.
I'm telling you, Angel. I'm telling you. Exactly. I like that comment too. I can't stand Romo. Who do you think's worse, Romo or Collinsworth? They're both terrible when it's Chiefs games.
Juju just scored a touchdown.
Okay, here we go. My God. Uncle Jam, that's pretty funny. My cousin's from Guadalajara, is a Steelers fan. How the hell does that happen? He's been giving me ish all afternoon. I don't blame you, dude. Justin Fields, who would have thought it? All of a sudden he can sling it from the pocket. What the hell's going on? It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Just so everyone understands, I was so disgusted by this morning's game. I didn't watch football the rest of the day. Played a little bit of Nazi Zombies, did some work. I couldn't watch anything. I was like, Jesus, I can't do this, dude. The other thing I did see was a tail end of the Rams game, which I was like, I saw the memes after about a certain staff member up there. We'll just leave it at that. And I was like, Jesus, God, catches strays left and right.
I know what you're talking about. Let me our good old pal Uncle Joe.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, you're gonna dig up that tweet?
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Uncle Joe Reedy, but this was
hilarious. You got to follow him.
Earlier, the Raiders losing to the Panthers and the Niners blowing a 14-point second half lead at SoFi to the Rams is exactly what one would expect from teams that employ Tom Telesco and Brandon Staley.
He couldn't avoid it.
He couldn't help himself on that.
He couldn't help himself.
He chose violence. And then
oh my God. Show the picture, show the meme after that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me see. Oh yeah.
There it is. Hilarious, dude.
Yeah, this was something else. That was a grade A tweet by
Joe Reedy's always cooking.
You know, it's funny, in a couple of weeks, the Raiders play the Rams, so that'll be interesting to see. Tom Telesco's back at SoFi Stadium
again.
So, yeah. So that'll be interesting. Dan, any
final thoughts? I don't know what to tell you, Frown. I'm pissed off. I don't want to say any more than I already have. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I just need to find out as soon as possible so I can let the suffering begin. I'm on to next week. It's on to see what the hell's going to happen.
What was the scene at that?
Roommate ran one way. I grabbed some beers, locked myself in the bathroom, and I was pissed. Got drunk, or what was it?
Ian Irving. I don't know what to say. It's crazy the way everything kind of went down today. I mean, that's a lot of injuries, to be honest.
I know. It's the National Football League. It happens, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean,
everyone except, or sorry, it happens to the Chargers and not everyone else, but we'll see.
I mean, it's just, and it's crazy because it's Herbert. It's basically the top players on the team. It's Herbert.
We'll find out how good that depth is next week, Frown. I'm going to tell you that.
Well, I don't know.
I think Taylor Heineke beat the Chiefs once, no?
What'd you say?
Didn't Taylor Heineke beat the
I think
Chiefs
Dalton
once?
is now 4-0 against the Raiders.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious.
Gabriel, yes, I will be at the Chargers game next week. By the way, this is kind of what Dan and Daygo went through today.
Danny.
Yeah.
I've been tricked.
Oh, yeah.
On, taken advantage of, hustled, bamboozled. This defense gave up 6 straight touchdowns, Danny. 6. That's damn near impossible in the NFL. And Mike Zimmer ain't been a defensive coordinator since the freaking Obama administration. And here comes Jerry trying to be cute, pulling him out of retirement. Both our coaches were cast out, Danny.
Exactly, Robert. Whatever, Danny.
My final thoughts to this is just I think Taylor Heineke is gonna do fine if
I think
he
so
is the
too.
starter.
I think so too.
I just think that
If it's Easton Stick, we riot. I'm sorry.
I think they'll be fine. But going into the bye week 2-2, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're able to get these guys back. If God willing, Rashawn Slater's fine, Bosa's fine, Alt is fine, and Justin's fine, and they say, hey, coming out of the bye week, they'll be fine, then you take 2-2, and then you go back to work. You play the Broncos. I believe it's
Exactly. Well, we better as soon as the son of Odin's 100%.
Wow. Oh yeah, they go. Oh, they have. Yeah, so they go at Broncos, at Cardinals. The Saints come marching in, and then they go to the Browns.
Don't scare me. Those teams don't scare me.
That's what I'm saying. Like they could. Those 4 games are winnable for the Chargers. I mean, especially if they're at full strength, and then they come back, and it's the Titans at the Chargers, the Bengals at the Chargers, and the Ravens at the Chargers. Chargers could win all those games. And they go to the Falcons, and then they go to the Chiefs. So yeah, if they can all sit and they can come back and be healthy the rest of the season, they'll be fine. Remember, it's different. It's not the same. It's not the same Chargers in a sense. Like it was. Yeah, no. And Jorge's right. Derwin did say he was at 35-40% today. I mean, can you imagine if Justin was at a 70 or 80?
35-40%. Yeah. Holy Jesus. Then why are we putting him out there? That can only go lower, especially with what I'm seeing.
Gabriel, I still think that we need to see what Joey. If Joey ends up this season with 10 sacks, then I mean, people are going to want him back. It's just kind of a wait and see. But Jorge, going back to that, I would sit all of those guys. You have the bye week coming up.
Yeah, but he's saying, do you think Jim? That's my biggest thing. I think
so.
He would.
I think Jim. I think
sees
Jim
the bigger picture.
Yeah, he values health, and he values the big picture. I mean, right now, yeah, you played a great head coach and a good Steelers team that I think, if healthy, you would have beaten them. And then Kansas City, it's like, yeah, we could try and go trot out those guys, but why? Why even try? Wow, next Sunday, Bills at Ravens. That's going to be a really good game. But put Ben Herbert on the O-line. But that's the thing. They're going to need to make some tough decisions on the O-line. And I get there are certain guys that they really like, and they brought them in, but Bradley Bozeman has not looked good at center. Like you said, Zion hasn't looked good at guard. So yeah, with the bye week coming up, I think Jim will do the right decision. He'll make the right decision and most likely sit all of those guys and just see what they can do with backup. I mean, you've seen it before. Anything can happen in the NFL. So I sold my Chiefs tickets last week. Perfect timing. Damn, Jorge.
He was ready. He hit that eject button.
Robert is done with Joey Bosa. Okay. So yeah, there you go. I mean, that's kind of how it is. Some fans are done with him, some aren't. So we'll see.
I just think he makes too much money to get a reduced role. That's my thing. Yeah. I like him. Let me get him cheap. Then he can get his reduced role all he wants, dude.
Yeah. No, them season tickets gotta sell high.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I agree with Gabriel. Jamari, I would, or what Dan said also, Jamari at left tackle and just write it like that. Pipkin's already learning a new position. Just leave him there. Yeah, let him learn his new position.
The more reps he gets, the only better he can get.
Staley would have put Herbert out there without Slater and Alt against the Chiefs.
Oh my!
Well, again, it's also whatever Herbert kind of thinks is bad. Like Herbert's gonna want to go regardless. So I think,
but that's Harbaugh's job to save him.
Yeah, let me finish. Jim is the kind of coach that'll sit him down and be like, look, it's a long season. After this, we're still going to have 13 games left. There's no reason to I've never seen $100 million pass rusher on the ground more than Joey. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a long season. Like I said, I would just be patient. There's a lot of really good players that Robert, I think Chris said it looked more like an ankle than a knee. If I read his tweet correctly, let me go check. My bad, Dan. I already asked you if you had any final thoughts, right?
Yeah, that was like 10 minutes ago, but don't worry about it.
I apologize. Oh, you're really nippy today.
I'm not happy for now. I don't know.
Joel said he isn't sure what the injury on his ankle is yet. Was limping pretty significantly in the locker room and took him a while to leave the field. Said he learned a lot facing TJ Watt. Wants to be quicker getting off the snap. Moving forward,
he didn't look bad against them. He gave up a sack, though, I think. But other than that, and one holding penalty.
But yeah, all right. Again, thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of What's Up, Bolts.
Jorge pointing out the obvious.
We'll probably oh my
Exactly,
God.
Angel.
I think Angel is drinking because he misspelled the crap out of Hilberto's name.
Byro. Exactly. He knows. He reverse cursed us, damn it.
But oh my God, this offensive line for the Falcons is horrendous. But all right. We'll probably be back Wednesday for the preview, maybe Thursday, depending on if we're able to land a guest for this week. I'm hoping our compa Nate Taylor will come through. I'm not trying to call him out, but I'm hoping he comes through and is able to jump on. I don't want to put him on the spot because obviously he's in Atlanta right now, and wow, he did have Kyle Pitts open. But I do want to but yeah, hopefully we'll get Nate Taylor on. He'll discuss what he thinks about this upcoming matchup, what he sees from Kansas City. And Dan and I will be back. Like I said, I don't know if we'll pre-record it and then release it as a whole episode, or if Dan and I just go live and we just pre-record the interview with Nate. We'll see what we do. But Jorge, we actually did see Jeff Miller over the weekend. He came out to Dan's game, so
shout out.
Great to see him. By the way, Dan, tomorrow you have to, or
Tuesday
you have to thank your boy came out too.
Oh, I will. I'm gonna thank him.
But all right. Again, thank you guys so much for jumping on. And again, we're always here for you guys. We're always here to talk. So that's what these are for. Sorry that today was a little bit later, but I was at I was covering the Padres game. So
no one cares about baseball. No one cares where you're at.
But I'll be having to do playoff baseball too, Dan, for your Padres.
No one cares. No one cares. No one cares about that sport. It's in the past for a reason. NFL's back, baby.
I don't know what to say to any of that, but all right. Thank you guys again so much for checking out another episode of What's Up, Bolts. Again, we will be back later this week. Make sure you guys tune in to Philip, to Robert D, to K.
Shout out.
Angel.
What?
Uncle Jam's Army.
What?
I already said Angel. I already said Uncle Jam's Army.
Joseph
Young
Miranda.
West.
What?
Larry A.
What?
Jorge. To
what?
Joseph Miranda.
What?
To you
guys hang in there
Gabriel.
too, Robert.
Thank you guys so much for jumping on with us. You guys are amazing. We gotta go though because tomorrow's it's gonna be a long week for us. But again, hang in there. It's only the beginning. RELAX, in the words of Dr. Aaron Rodgers. Just relax. Yeah, Noah Thier today, Jorge. I know you're a little saddened by that, Noah Thier, but that's how bad he must be taking this loss. But again, thank you guys so much. We will be back later this week. But for the time being, Dan, let's get out of here and let's have a good day tomorrow. Let's be better than we were today.
Be a compa, tell a compa. Everything sucks again.